All right, today we are covering Chapter 2, American Society and its Values. So, looking at our learning goals for today, we want to be able to explain why people form groups and describe the 5 major social institutions. Okay, so as we go through with our notes today, these are our main essential questions. These are our learning goals that we want to take away from our notes today. So we're going to start off talking about participating in a group, okay? Becoming a group member. So we're going to look at the term socialization, okay? And that is the process of learning how to participate in a group, okay? Now, by joining a group, right, which can be anything from FFA, right, an extracurricular activity, maybe it's your youth group, right? All these different groups, right, help to satisfy, right, physical, emotional, spiritual needs, okay? Right, every individual has those needs, right? And groups that you participate in, right, help with those needs, okay? Within each group is a set of rules, okay? Rules are specific expectations about what our behavior should be, okay? So for example, are we all a part of friend groups? Do we all have friend groups in here, right? What would a rule of a friend group possibly be? And sometimes those rules aren't necessarily talked about. So do you treat your friends with respect? Yeah. So in your friend group, it might be a rule that everyone treats each other with respect. It might be a rule that Isabel always has my back. Okay. Those are different rules that you can see in friend groups, right? Or maybe being considerate of time. Okay, you and your friend decided to meet up at the ball at 5, they show up at 7. Is that very considerate of them? No, right? So that could be another example, right, of those rules that you see within groups. Okay. So I want you to think, what are examples of groups that you belong to, and what needs do these groups meet? What values do these groups hold? So let's look at social institutions. The definition: systems of values and rules that determine how our society is organized. Okay. And we are going to specifically look at 5 of the main social institutions in our country, okay? We have family, education, religion, government, and economy, okay? Now, we just talked about groups, right? Groups fall within these social institutions, right? Like your youth group or your Bible study might fall into, right, the social institution of religion. Okay, sports, or maybe you're a knowledge bowl, something like that. That would fall under the social institution of education. Okay, so there's many different groups that fall into the 5 social institutions. So let's start off with the family. All right, family is the most basic social institution in any society, right? The second you are born, you are part of a family. Okay, you are fed, right? You are given shelter. Those basic needs are met by your family. Okay. We talked about earlier, okay, how our family structures are changing, right? We talked about how our grandparents had many, many siblings. And then today, right, families are having less and less children, okay? And that too is because the typically, right, when you think about a traditional family, it's the man goes to work, the woman stays home with the kids, right? But that's all changing today. Women are more career oriented, right? A lot more women are leaving the home to go work, right? And that too plays into why we have families with less children. All right, so that structure is changing. And we're now having blended families as well, okay? And that's defined as families made up of adults and their children from previous marriages, okay? So we have families coming together, all having children from previous marriages, right? Blended families, or we have single parents, right? Just mom raising kids, just dad raising kids. So we have a lot of these unique family structures that we look at when we think about the institution, the social institution of family. Okay. We also learn rules of daily life within this family social institution, okay? So this is where you learn many of the rules that govern your life, okay? Rules might be take out the trash. It might be respect your friends, respect your siblings, okay? You might have the rule, no swearing in your house, okay? These are all different rules, right, of daily life that you learn from your family. Family also benefits society, okay? An example of this would be at home, it might be a rule in your family that when you're done eating, you put your trash in the garbage, okay? When you apply that to a society, right, you're not going to be driving down the road and throw out your McDonald's out the window. Okay, so again, within your family, if it's instilled in you, right, you throw your trash in the garbage, that also benefits society, right? You're not littering everywhere. Okay. Let's move on to our second social institution of religion. Religion provides us with a sense of community. Religions give their members a feeling of being a part of a community of people who have similar goals and similar ways of looking at life. Okay. And again, within religion, the same as we see with family, there are rules to live by, right? So every religion has a moral code that sets expectations for people's behaviors and helps them judge right from wrong. Okay. An example of this would be the 10 Commandments, right? Giving us rules. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not kill, right? That is an example of rules to live by within a unique religion. Each religion, right, I just gave an example of Christianity, has these sets of moral codes, right, and rights and wrongs. Okay? And again, like I just said, since there's many different religions, many different sets of moral codes, rights and wrongs, this can cause some conflict, okay? Because not all religions share the same values and rules, okay? And then this can often lead to conflict. We're going to move on to our third social institution of education. Okay. So, why do people need education? To prepare for a career, to obtain a comfortable life, and to develop a sense of self-worth. Okay. This is why we instill an education, right, into our youth, right? But it also meets society's needs. Okay, so society needs to train its citizens to do the work of keeping society functioning. So without education, we wouldn't be able to train people to be bankers or maybe a life insurance agent. Okay, different occupations that our country needs to function. Okay, so that's where we're meeting society's needs, okay? Having people educated and learn to do different jobs and skills that really keeps our country running, okay? Teaching young citizens, right? So me as an education professional, right? I'm teaching this civics class, teach you guys how to be good citizens, okay? What your civic duties are, okay? Being informed on government, right? So you have an idea of how our country works, and to be more educated as you leave high school and enter the real world, right? Okay. I want to challenge you guys, all right? I want you to see a variety of different perspectives. I want you to see a variety of different backgrounds, different cultures, okay? So that's my goal as a teacher, is to get you guys ready for life as a citizen, right? Your civic duties, okay? Education also has its rewards, all right? Right, obviously, rewards from education, getting good grades, you know, maybe that's making an honor roll, right? But rewards go deeper than that too, right? You have friends in school, okay? You get to hang out with your friends in school, that's a reward, okay? You're learning new things. Maybe you are figuring out your sense of being, right? Finding out who you are as you go to school, okay, as you're with your friends, as you learn different things, okay? So those are all education's rewards. Next, we are looking at the American economy. So, what is the economy? It's a system for producing and distributing goods and services to fulfill people's wants. Okay. So that's our definition for economy. Then we're going to look at 4 different parts to the economic system. Okay, so first we have a consumer, a person who uses or consumes goods and services to satisfy wants. Okay. Market, that's the place where people exchange goods or services. Price, the amount you must pay for a good or service. And finally, money, anything, right? From coins and dollars here to beads or shells, whatever the culture, right, uses as currency, which is generally accepted as payment for a good or a service. Okay. What are you guys in this list of terms? What are we? Consumers. Right. When you go to the store and you buy a pop or you buy a candy bar, you're a consumer. All right. When you go get your haircut, right, you're a consumer, you're buying a service. Okay. We are moving on to our final social institution, government. All right, so the role of government, okay. So first we're going to talk about anarchy, right? That's lack of government, right? No government system resulting in chaos. That's what we mean by anarchy, okay? So looking at some of our government functions, okay? First is keeping the peace, right? We have court systems set up, okay, to determine punishments, whether rules have been broken, right? That's what our court system is for. So that is keeping the peace. Second, protecting our country, right? We have law enforcement, we have firefighters, ambulance responders, okay? And then thinking even broader, right? We have our military, okay, that serves as a defense to our country. The third function, providing necessary services, right? Necessary services would include fixing streets, roads, sewer systems, right? Education, that is a necessary service, okay? 4, maintaining other institutions. Just wait, right? And again, that goes school, education. That is a big institution that is maintained.